All right, the time now is 10:01. We will go ahead and get started. Again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Taking time out of your busy morning, join us for this exciting initiative coming to our state. My name is Clay Stevens, and I'm the manager for the Home Energy Rebates Programs at the West Virginia Office of Energy, and I will be facilitating today's discussion. Now, this will serve as our first public input session for West Virginia's home energy rebate programs. And these programs are designed to empower residents in our state to save money on upgrades to their home and even new energy efficient appliances that will reduce the overall amount of money spent on their utility bills. Now, I'll start by providing just a general overview, and then we'll talk about how West Virginia residents will be able to access these funds through the program and what the rebates will actually cover. After this, we'll go into some more of the key areas of focus and take some time to answer any questions that we received in the survey, as well as any questions entered into the Q&A function during our call. Again, you can put your questions directly into the chat function of this webinar, and we'll address those at the end of the session. This webinar is primarily intended to provide a high-level overview of the rebates program and where our office is in the process of implementation and design. Now, there are still many, many design details to finalize, and we look forward to integrating your feedback into the program design as we continue our negotiations with the Department of Energy. At this time, I would like to introduce you all to our director, Nick Preservati. He'll tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do here at the West Virginia Office of Energy. Nick?
Thank you, Clay. Good morning, everyone. Again, this is Nick Preservati, the Director of the West Virginia Office of Energy. Our office is located in the Capitol Complex in Charleston in Building 3. And we are responsible for developing the state's energy policy, making recommendations. And in that vein, we are in pursuit of West Virginia's real energy policy. And our goal is to provide reliable, efficient, affordable, and local energy to our state and its communities. We're excited to share this opportunity with you guys. As Clay mentioned, there are two home rebate programs to be administered through our office. The Home Efficiency Rebates, which provide funding to reduce the initial cost of energy efficiency upgrades in single family and multifamily homes, and the Home Electrification and Appliance Rebates Program, which will provide funding for high efficiency home appliances and equipment in both single family and multifamily homes. Our plan in hosting this public session is to identify community priorities, maximize the program design and effectiveness, and develop a plan for implementation and funding. Just wanted to say hello. Again, thank everyone for coming. You're in great hands with Clay, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, Clay. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Nick. We certainly appreciate that. So, yeah, we have a lot of exciting things happening here in our office, and we do look forward to sharing them with you all here in the near future. But for now, let's review the goals for today's session. Basically, we want to leave you with a general understanding of the West Virginia Home Energy Rebates Program, and we also want to incorporate your feedback into our program design. And now the best way to do that is through our survey. So again, for those of you who's just joining the call, please take a couple minutes to fill out that for us, and we will post a link to this in our chat. Again, we also encourage you to submit any additional questions or feedback through the Q&A function of this webinar. And we know that a program like this, of this size, it just can't occur without collaboration with the community. And we hope to use today to start a conversation that will remain ongoing throughout the life cycle of this program. Now, here at the West Virginia Office of Energy, we do believe that meaningful engagement is critical to ensuring our programs have the greatest possible impact to all West Virginians. And we also remain committed to updating and engaging the public throughout this program and the future ones to come. So just keep an eye out for any announcements regarding our future engagements to garner your feedback. Now, we'll transition to the program specifics and the Department of Energy guidelines. All right, so the Inflation Reduction Act, it was signed on August 16th of 2022. And this provided nearly 400 billion to support clean energy initiatives and address climate change. Now, 8.8 billion of this has been designated to states for the Home Energy Rebates Program from the Department of Energy. This program will reach West Virginia, flowing from the Department of Energy to the West Virginia Office of Energy and then directly to homeowners across our state. And again, this will significantly reduce the cost of energy efficient upgrades and appliances. Now, the Department of Energy serves as the program oversight and again provides the funding to our state. Our office will serve as an implementing agent to administer these funds throughout the state of West Virginia. Now, the Department of Energy granted our state roughly $88 million in funds for the Home Energy Rebates Program. The Home Energy Rebates Program, it's broken down, as Nick said, essentially into two different programs. Their formal names are the Home Efficiency Rebates, often referred to as HER, and the Home Electrification and Appliance Rebates, referred to as HERE. The HER program is designed to improve the overall efficiency of your home. All West Virginians are eligible for the HER program, and the rebates are higher for our low income households. In fact, we expect many residents in the state to qualify for this program with no out of pocket costs for the homeowner. Again, the rebate amounts awarded through the HER program are based on income level and the anticipated energy savings that the household will receive due to the upgrades. Now, the HERE program is focused on making more specific electric appliance or home systems more energy efficient. Only low to moderate income households are eligible for the HERE program. And this program is simpler in that it's focused on replacing individual appliances with more efficient electric versions, and it's not focused on the whole home as a whole. Now, the goal of these programs overall are simply to reduce the cost of energy for West Virginians while building a diverse workforce in energy efficiency, reducing home energy bills again across our state, and just making these homes more comfortable overall for our residents. Now, moving on to the timeline, we want to give you a better idea of when you should expect to see these programs in place and working for you. Our office is actually currently working on the Home Energy Rebates Program application that is due directly to the Department of Energy. And the Department of Energy application focuses on just, the basic legal requirements, but it does allow the states to make program design decisions later in the program process. And once the application is actually submitted, our office will focus on making program design decisions which will influence how the program is implemented. This webinar and the survey will also influence our core strategies of the design and implementation process. And again, we aim to design the program with little burden placed on the consumer and obtaining maximum program reach and impact. In fact, we anticipate that funds may reach your community as early as this time next year. However, this process is largely dependent on the Department of Energy's guidance and responses to our application. Now, with this being said, the program will actually run through 2031 or until the program funds are exhausted, whichever comes first. Now, in addition to the program goals set forth by the Department of Energy, our office here at the West Virginia Office of Energy has formulated some of our own key goals and metrics as objectives to align the program with the values of our office as a whole. Now, we've decided that we want to reduce the amount families spend on their utility bill. That is what we actually call their energy burden. And we simply want to provide an improved level of comfort in their homes for our residents. Now, we also want to make sure the program is easy to access, that the application process is streamlined, and that navigating and working with your chosen contractor is easy and as pleasant as possible. And part of our internal goals also include ensuring that the program is accessible to everyone, including those who live in more rural areas, far from city centers and towns. Now, we have found that these households have been historically underserved or simply left behind by other federal programming, And we don't want the rebates program to be that. So, in fact, that's part of why we're soliciting input and engagement this early in the process, is because, and as I mentioned before, we are committed to making this program as impactful to the state as we can. We want to put our contractors to work and put money back in the pocket of our homeowners. And speaking of contractors, our contractor community will be instrumental to the provision of these programs. And for anyone on the call, if you own or if you operate a contractor business that serves our state, or you know of a contractor business, we certainly want to hear from you. Again, we've placed a link to the survey in the chat. You can also feel free to put your email address in there, and we'll be reaching out to you. Now, with all this being said, we realize that our goals are pretty ambitious, but we do feel that with effective collaboration, we believe we can truly make a significant economic impact here in West Virginia. Okay, so looking at the program in details, the Home Efficiency Rebates, or HER program, focuses on improving energy efficiency in the whole home to reduce energy bills and make the homes more comfortable. Now, this is a contractor-led program because the process begins with a home assessment. This is where the contractor identifies the upgrades that can produce the largest energy savings in the home. Now, this project might include, upgrades to heat pumps, to your gas water heaters and furnaces, weatherization, insulation, and a whole lot more, which we'll get into some more detail here in just a few moments. But as shown here, the rebates amounts are based on expected total energy savings, geographical location, and income. You can also see that for low income households, the rebate calculations and caps are a bit higher. While many of the rebate levels are concrete, the Department of Energy has given our office the flexibility in the rebate amounts, and we've decided to cover the full cost of the project for some homeowners. This is just simply to ensure that our low income households throughout the state that they can participate in the program, and they're able to realize energy savings and reduce their overall electric and energy bills, and again, just make their homes more comfortable. All right. So now, I know we're giving out a lot of information here, and you may have some questions. For an example, you may be asking, so what does the HER program, or, the Home Efficiency Rebate Program, look like in practice? So here we want you to meet Sophia. And in this scenario, Sophia just wants to save money on her home energy bills and increase the quality of life in her home. So, Sophia starts by just visiting our West Virginia Office of Energy's website and verifying her eligibility for the program. And once her eligibility is verified, she looks for a contractor participating in the state's Home Energy Rebates Program. Now, we're currently working to provide a contractor network, and we'll provide a comprehensive and inclusive list of trained and certified contractors for you on our website, and we'll make sure this is easily accessible to anyone participating in the program. And now, once Sophia has made her selection, the contractor will go and assess her home and works with her directly to select the correct upgrades that's going to improve her home's energy efficiency. Sophia then receives the state's approval, and the contractor completes the installation of her home efficiency upgrades. Now, at this point, Sophia can simply sit back and enjoy the cost savings as the rebate amount is subtracted from her invoice. And depending on her income, again, she may not have no cost to her at all. Now, we do realize this scenario is not applicable to everyone, so we simply wanted this to be a representative example. So we understand that there may be many influences that affect the process, such as supply chain administration and just internet access. So again, this is just simply meant to be a representative sample of how Sophia would navigate through the program. So moving on, the second program is the Home Electrification and Appliance Rebates. And again, this is referred to as HERE. Now, this program focuses on replacing appliances with more efficient electric versions. This is an income qualifying program, and it is only available to low and moderate income households throughout our state. Now, our office is currently considering rebates for things such as heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, and clothes dryers. This could also be like electric stoves, cooktops, ranges or ovens, electric load service centers, electric wiring, again, insulation, air sealing, and ventilation. And as we stated before, we are still in the planning stages, but we hope that this will be a point of sale program. This is where like the discounted amount is applied immediately at the retailer level or by the contractor that installs the equipment. Now the rebates can be combined for a total rebate payment of up to $14,000. This program, again, we're still in the early design phases, but generally speaking, applicants will go through an income verification process, just to qualify as low to moderate income. They'll then receive approval for a point of sale rebate, where the cost for eligible items will then be reduced in the store at the time of the service. Now, before we move on, I would like to say again, if you have any questions or if you have any comments, we do encourage you to drop those in the Q&A function, and we'll address as many of those as possible here in just a few moments. We know we're giving out a lot of information, so feel free to answer any questions, put any type of input in that Q&A section, or just drop it into the chat feature for us. And with that being said, we will move on. Now, the rebate program, it is subject, again, this is part of DOE guidelines, to the Federal Justice 40 initiative. Now, this initiative has the goal of flowing 40% of all program benefits to disadvantaged communities. The disadvantaged communities are defined as those that are marginalized, underserved, and or overburdened by pollution, among several other federal indicators. And according to the Climate and Economic Justice Screening Tool, roughly 50% of West Virginians live in designated disadvantaged communities. Now, in line with the Department of Energy's Justice 40 initiative, our office, the West Virginia Office of Energy, will distribute at minimum 40% or more of rebate funds to these disadvantaged communities. Now, in addition to disadvantaged communities, income limits, and other qualifying program factors, our office has additional program qualification means. To simplify the income verification process, our office will use a process called categorical eligibility to qualify households and buildings for the low income rebates. Now, this process will allow applicants to verify their income eligibility, providing documentation of enrollment in any pre-qualifying program that meets the same income eligibility requirements, and this includes things such as SNAP or Medicaid benefits. Now, this process will help residents identify quickly if they're eligible for low income rebates and submit limited personal information in the process. Now, for a whole list of categorical eligibility, we'll drop a link in the chat feature for you. And again, this would just pull up a whole list of different programs that if you're participating in, again, this will provide categorical eligibility for those residents. And moving on, in addition to optimizing household savings statewide, our approach is to design and implement the program in a manner that enhances the capabilities of our contractor small businesses. A robust and well supported network of contractors will be instrumental to the program's overall success. Now, currently, as I stated before, we are in the process of identifying contractor requirements and considering the training and tools needed to help interested contractors succeed. Now, listed here on your screen are some types of contractors who will be essential to the success of our rebates program, and this includes installers, energy auditors, home inspectors, and many more, frankly. Now, we certainly hope that some of you may fall into these categories and might be interested in partnering with us to deliver these projects. And as stated before, if you are interested in being a contractor for this program, please indicate that in your survey response or reach out to us directly here at the West Virginia Office of Energy. And next slide, please. And now, before we looking into answering some of your questions, we wanted to provide some helpful links. And as we move forward in the design and planning process, again, feel free to scan the QR codes or record the links. We will post them in the chat as well. First, here is the West Virginia Office of Energy website. Now, this website is essentially the easiest way to continually engage with us as we design the program and make any updates to keep you informed of program developments. Next here, you will find a link to the survey again, as well as any information regarding, any future public input sessions, including we do have an in-person event scheduled here at the Capitol Complex, and that's going to be held on September 25th. We'll be sending out more information about this within the next couple of weeks. We've also placed a link here to help you determine your household's AMI, which is the area medium income level. And this is based on your actual county of residence. Now, the final two include the Department of Energy's website and the press release announcing the allocations of the Home Energy Rebates Program funding. Again, we know we've just put a lot of information out to you. So please, by all means, feel free to put any questions you have in the Q&A section of this webinar. Also, feel free to fill out the survey and submit your input and feedback there. So with this, I just want to extend a very quick thank you so much for your time today and sending in your questions. I see we do have some questions in the Q&A. I will do my best to answer a few of these, but I am not positive I'm going to get to all of them today. Um, Let me see. At this time, I'm going to ask Chelsea, our communications manager, what questions we've actually received. Chelsea?
Thanks, Clay. We've actually gotten quite a few, but I think we should probably start with the biggest one that I imagine is on everyone's mind, and that's who is eligible for the rebates.
Okay, Chelsea, that's a great question. Now, the HER program, that's the Home Efficiency Rebates program rebates. Now, they're available to any individual or household carrying out these energy efficient upgrades in their home, and this also includes multifamily buildings. Now, any project that meets the 20% savings on the household energy bill will potentially be eligible for the rebate. However, as I stated before, these rebate amounts will fluctuate, depending on a variety of factors, and this includes the anticipated energy savings, income levels, and so forth. Now, it's a little bit different for the HERE program. That's the Home Electrification and Appliance Rebates, Chelsea. And as I stated, this program is only going to be available to our low or moderate income households.
All
Uh,
right, next question.
mhm.
What documentation is required to prove income eligibility for the programs?
Okay, thanks, Chelsea. Again, that's another great question. And as we discussed briefly during our presentation, our office will be using direct proof of income and categorical eligibility. Now, for direct proof of income, applicants to the program may provide an array of income documents such as pay statements, W-2s. Uh, if you're on unemployment, we'll accept unemployment benefit statements. And there's several others listed, and we'll be sending out some more information on that as we further design and development the program. Now, again, for categorical eligibility, applicants now they must verify the household participates in another state or federal program, and that includes the same income qualification thresholds in correlation with our rebate program. Again, some of these programs include, SNAP and Medicaid. Actually, we're going to post in the chat feature a list of federal programs approved for categorical eligibility. And the link in the chat, it will provide a comprehensive list of other programs that will result in approved eligibility for the program. That was a great question, Chelsea. What else do you have for us?
Here's a very good one. How will the West Virginia Office of Energy protect consumers and ensure that retailers and contractors do not inflate prices?
Oh, wow, yes. I've heard this question quite a bit through our stakeholder engagements, but we want everyone to be sure, that consumer protection is of utmost importance to us here at the West Virginia Office of Energy. We are in the design process of developing a comprehensive consumer protection plan, and that includes mechanisms to prevent price inflation. This plan it'll showcase our strategies that we aim to implement and put in place to avoid the misuse of funds, to mitigate fraud and prevent inflated prices. Again, as we're just essentially in the early stages of development of these programs, we will post more specific details and share them with you closer to the program launch date.
Now,
What other
Clay,
questions?
what
Mhm.
if we live in apartments? Can we still participate in the program?
Sure, Chelsea, that's another good question. Yeah. Now, we do aim to make these rebates available for everyone in our state, and that's including those who live in multifamily buildings or apartments. What I would personally recommend for people in this situation is talking directly, with your property manager or your landlord, your building owner, because those would be the folks to apply for the building participation when the program actually launches. Um, Let me see here. Yeah, so absolutely. If you live in an apartment complex, again, you could very well reap the benefits of the home energy rebates. What other question, Chelsea?
I think, Clay, we have time for one more, and I've got, let's see, let's do this one right here. Do new construction projects qualify for rebates?
Oh, another great question, Chelsea. Now, as mentioned in the presentation, to qualify for the HER rebate program, an estimated savings of at least 20% on your energy bills will have to be anticipated. Now, therefore, new construction projects would not qualify. However, there are opportunities for these types of projects to take advantage of the HERE program. And again, that is the Home Electrification and Appliance Rebates. So the HER program, with the 20% savings, new construction projects would not qualify. But again, we do encourage folks to take advantage of the HERE program, and that's the electrification and appliance rebates. Let me see, we're coming up here on 10:30. So I do want to, again, take just a couple minutes to thank everyone for your valuable input and participation in today's public webinar session. Again, your insights and dedication to energy efficiency are vital as we continue to shape, the future of sustainable energy initiatives here in our state. Now, we are excited about the progress we've made together, and we do look forward to the innovative solutions that will emerge from our combined collaborations. We want everyone to just, stay tuned for exciting announcements and program updates as we move forward on this important journey. And keep checking our website because the questions that we did not get to today, we will update our frequently asked questions and post them on our website to ensure a conclusive and robust answers to all of your questions. And if you have further questions, feel free to contact our office directly. Again, thanks everyone for joining us today. We certainly appreciate it and look forward to hearing from you in the future. And until then, I want everyone to take care, and thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye now.